Greetings, friends. I know it's been a minute. I've been on vacation and just wild ride. Everything's been great, but now let's get back to it. Let's get to the whiteboard. So a lot of people were asking me, okay, why are you the Christian imperialist? Well, because I don't think Christian nationalism is quite what a lot of people think. We believe in, at least here in America, we think nationalism, we think of geopolitical entities. America, Canada, sovereign nations. But is that necessarily the biblical hermeneutic of understanding what a nation is? If you go to Genesis 10, you have the table of nations after the sons of Noah spread out, and it basically says what nations are in a biblical understanding. So I kind of find Christian nationalism to be an imprecise term. It really just means this is our understanding of a nation, and let's put it Christian. What does the Bible say? And I think the Puritans are very, very helpful in understanding where we are as a people, individual people, whatever. And so they built this kind of way of thinking that you're born into 4 covenants. Now, I know some people out there, people that I like, they say you're only born into 3, but this is what the Puritans believe, and I think it's actually more helpful in our understanding. So here is the graph. And I hope that didn't show up backwards for everybody, because I can't write backwards. Yeah. Okay, so the first covenant is the national covenant. You're born into a nation, you're born into an ethnicity, you're born into a tribe. Now, secondly, you have a political covenant. This can be your king, this can be your president, this can be whatever type of tribal leadership you're in. And then next, you have the ecclesiastical covenant. This is, you're part of a church, you're part of a religious organization. You have certain duties and requirements that go into being part of this covenant. And then lastly, you have the familial covenant. Now, the familial covenant is, okay, it's different depending on where you are. If you're in a husband and wife relationship, there's obviously a marriage covenant there. But as a child, you have to respect your parents, your father and mother. As a father and mother, you have responsibilities to raise your children in the fear and admonition of the Lord. And so you're born into these covenants, whether you like it or not. Now, some people, they tend to conflate these two, the national and the political. They just say, hey, we're in a new place. God raises up kings, and then he lowers them. And so that's obviously saying national covenant. But let me pose one quick problem with that. There's something going on a peninsula in the Far East called Korea. You have North Korea, and again, if this is backwards, I apologize. You have North Korea, which is a communist dictatorship, and you have South Korea, which is a democratic republic with elections and all that fun stuff. They are under 2 different political covenants. One has a dictator, a rule by one, and then the other has a rule by few. Okay? Now, they're still in the same national covenant. They're all Korean. They're all brothers. They're cousins, however you want to say it. But they're under different political covenants. And so when people say there's only 3 covenants and they conflate the national and the political, I think that's a really bad way of looking at it. But it does get a little bit more difficult because of generations of miscegenation and distinctions. Sometimes certain languages and dialects end up splitting, and I don't know if that's helpful, but we can look at what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. They all kind of descend from the exact same patriarch and the exact same tribe of people. Their languages are somewhat different, but they share so much. In fact, they believe that their conversion into the church occurred at the exact same time because through that patriarch, through that bloodline. And so sometimes it gets a little bit difficult as the progression of history goes, but I think this is the best way to understand the covenants and where we are, and a better way of saying, look, Christian nationalism is great, but if that's only applying to the political covenant, it's an inexact term, and we're using 21st century definitions in order to build our theology, and sometimes that's not helpful. Sometimes it is, but in this case, I don't think it is. So, hey, that's all I got right now. Hope it's a short video, and love you guys. Bye.